Massive Nyarlathotep. We are in Egypt. Last session, Natalia fought her last. Her luck ran out finally. And she now sleeps on the floor of this strange chamber underground. So let us return to that situation. And if you recall, Thaddeus was starting to kind of drag her along. I don't know if he's going to continue to do that, but he was doing that, and Maxine was sort of looking beyond this dais that you all were on. So we'll pick up right there, kind of where we left off, with these creatures at your feet, dead or dying, and the mummy now fueled by another one of these creatures' bodies, the flames kind of rising a little higher. It's being immolated as you walk by. So, what now?
Maxine has lit that other lantern, and she's headed toward the other side of the die to see if there's another tunnel, another way out on this side, or if they need to go back. Evie headed this way, so she's sort of keeping an ear out for him, calling out softly for him.
You hear sounds that sound like it's probably him up ahead, but it's so dark in here it's kind of hard to see where he is.
Right.
But you definitely feel like you're going in the right direction.
Right, he's headed here. I don't know if you want us to move our character.
Oh yeah, you can. That's totally fine.
I can't see.
Just don't move too far. Oh, that's right, because I blinded you.
Because you're dead.
Yeah. Let me throw EB on there. And there. How about now?
Yes.
Okay.
So Thaddeus seen Maxine walk off that way. He's gonna start carrying Natalia that way, all the while still mumbling, "You're gonna be alright. You're gonna be alright. We get you a doctor." And he's gonna start making his way towards the way he saw Maxine walk off.
Yep, her body's just limp, but yes, you start walking off that way. That's fine. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. I was just gonna drag Natalia along with you. And yeah, so Maxine, you kind of get to the base of these stairs, made of some kind of it looks like a kind of granite or something, with lots of green veins and flecks running throughout, that you can kind of see in Thaddeus's light as he comes along behind you. And as the light shines, you sort of see some quivering form at the top of these steps. And judging from the sounds of kind of panicked prayers in Arabic, you judge it must be Ebi from the sounds of it.
Yeah, she looks back over her shoulder at Thaddeus, dragging Natalia, kind of just winces, and is about to say something to him, but then just shakes her head at herself. Mr. Pepin, I think Ebi's up here. Maybe he can give you a hand. And she starts to move forward a little bit, calling it, "Hey, Mr. Musa, it's Maxine. Everything's okay."
He doesn't even seem to be aware of. He doesn't even seem to be aware of you. He's at the foot of what appear to be two thrones, that do not look Egyptian at all. They have a very strange, organic quality to them, and you can tentacles and eyes everywhere on these statues. And he's like prostrate at the base of one of those, and he's saying something in Arabic kind of desperately. It sounds like a prayer, but you're not really sure. But one thing's pretty clear: he's kind of lost. Whatever's going on, he's not really rational right now.
Yeah, Max will approach him kind of carefully, make sure that he can see her coming. She's not just going to walk up behind him. Try to maybe get between him and the statues and get his attention. Mr. Musa, look, them things, they're gone, but Mr. Pepin could really use a hand. That got hurt real bad, and we got to get her out of here, all right? All right, Evie?
Evie is just crouched, still praying. You can hear the Arabic words coming from his lips, his hands clasped tightly together. He's not quite fully listening at this point, still trembling.
She'll kind of set down the lantern, approach him, reach a hand out, kind of take him by the arm. Evie, you gotta, I know this is all, it's all terrible, but you gotta snap out of it, okay? Time to lose it once we're out of this place.
I understand, but this is... What is exactly going on? I don't understand. Oh, help me.
I don't really understand all of it myself, other than I don't know them creatures are somehow connected with the cultists, the ones that attacked the temple. And they was trying to do something with that mummy in there, and we took care of it. But Nat is really hurt, and we really got to get her out of here, E.B. Need your strong arm over here with Mr. Pepin.
E.B. turns back to statues. Finishes his prayer there, his voice very shaky as he does so. He'll get up very carefully and turn back to look at Maxine and Thaddeus, and his eyes just widen when he sees Natalia.
We gotta get away out of here. We need a doctor.
I don't know if the doctor's gonna help at this point. Mr. Pepin.
Let's just focus on getting her out of here, and then we'll worry about the doctor.
He nods, very meekly, kind of goes around and assists Thaddeus with helping Natalia.
And Maxine walks farther in, peers down this hallway, kind of deliberately avoiding
It's actually
too hard at the thrones.
So it's actually suspended above the ground. So like you went upstairs, and so this is like almost like a walkway rather than a passage, right? Yeah. Ooh. That was weird. It just dropped me out of the game for no good reason. I'll be right back in. And yeah, and you can sort of see some dim, like, pyramid shape at the end of the walkway.
we can turn around, Thaddeus, or we can keep going forward and hope it's closer to keep going and go back.
That's a long ways if we go turn around. Perhaps this is a quicker way.
All right. Well, I'll lead the way with the light. Just follow me. I'll try not to go too fast.
Daddies would hold on until you're tight. Are you with us, EB?
Yes, yes.
Let's go. They start following her.
Okay, I'm going to assume you're dragging Natalia around, so I'm not going to keep moving her. I'll move her if we need to. All right, so you two guys, kind of haul Natalia's, corpse along, though you're not really thinking of it as a corpse at this point, it sounds like. You make your way along this walkway. It's not dangerous unless you're drunk or running really fast. It's a good 5 feet wide.
Well, I think we're gonna start across it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Daddies would follow.
Okay. And as you get close, you see it's almost a pure white, with just made of some white stone. But it's not totally. It's almost perfectly smooth, but you can see there's grooves where it's bits of stone that were carved and then placed in place. But it's almost perfectly done. It is unusually tall. Most pyramids are about as tall as they are wide, or maybe even a little, stubbier than they are wide. This one is much taller than it is wide. It's almost like a pointed cone, a four-sided cone going up, and it goes beyond the limit of your light.
Does it have an entrance into it, or does it?
You
solid?
don't see one, but you're only looking at one side.
Yeah, we'll get close enough that we can take a better look, walk around.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You walk around it, and it looks solid from all sides, and you see that there's a narrow, like 5-foot wide passage that leads out from behind at this level, so it's like above the floor level, right?
Yeah. She'll turn and look to Thaddeus for kind of approval. Assuming he doesn't say anything against it, start heading down that passageway.
Okay. You go down that passage, and you go. It goes straight for about 50 yards, maybe, and then it takes a sharp left turn, 90 degrees.
Keep following it.
Okay. You go and go, and apart from the fact that it's the ceiling doesn't really come down as much as the other smaller passageways, of like what I guess I'd call side passages that you ventured down a few times. It's starting to feel a lot like those side passages. It never opens up. It never gets wider. And the further you go, the more irregular the the wall work becomes, and it starts to feel more and more like one of those poorly maintained little side tunnels. And in it, you go on. I don't know how far you want to continue. Is your plan to kind of follow this to the end?
I think Maxine's hoping that it'll connect in with that main tunnel, I guess, at this point.
Okay. I'll let you make a navigate check. Oh, you have a strong feeling one way or the other. Which do you think? You think it's gonna? You think it's gonna join up or not?
This is definitely gonna join up.
All right. Okay, so you follow it. You go a good about 150 yards or so, and then it kind of curves to the right a little, and then it goes back to the left. And so now you're sort of disoriented again. You're not exactly even sure what direction you're heading. Though your sense is you're heading away from that chamber. You're just not entirely sure, in what direction. And I don't believe any of you have a compass.
No.
Yeah.
Like Boy Scouts.
No,
The compass.
But Shelley probably would have. You don't look like
Yeah, probably.
just cause. So you go to, and this passage is more or less straight, and it goes a long way. I'd say 250 yards. Thaddeus, make a sanity check for me.
Oh, okay.
Yep. You still think that that there's hope for Natalia, I would say. You've been dragging her along. She's giving no signs of life. But I would say by about this point, EB is momentarily focused enough, at least, and he's had to kind of, she's dead weight, so he keeps having to keep kind of adjusting to carry her along, and I think at this point he probably realizes there's no way that she's still alive, and kind of about the point where he realizes that you come to a T where you can either keep going straight or you can turn left. And there's no major intersection. It's a small tunnel left or a small tunnel ahead.
Which way do we go? She needs to get out of here fast.
She'll take the left.
Okay. You go left. Go for about 100 yards, and it kind of jogs to the left a little bit like a dog leg. You go another 100 yards or so. Is E.B. saying or doing anything, or is he just going to play along and keep carrying Natalia?
At some point, he's gonna kind of look to Mr. Pepin. Mr. Pepin, I don't think she's breathing.
He looks over at Natalia. What are you talking about? She's fine. We just got to get her to a doctor.
He kind of points to the very gaping stomach wound with the entrails hanging out.
Again, she's fine. She just needs a doctor.
He knows, but he doesn't want to argue. He just nods and follows along.
Okay. You come to another intersection. There's a left that's a little sharper than 90 degrees, or you can keep going straight.
A little sharper than 90 degrees. You said?
Mm-hmm. Yes, a little bit of a cutback.
There's a chance that this is like the cutback from that big tunnel.
Which way we
I,
we go?
She's just gonna take the sharp left,
Okay. You follow that for about
and she's gonna start marking where they've been with arrows made with lipstick or something, just like on Labyrinth.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you mark that corner and then you go, well, you go about 100 yards and you come to a dead end.
Okay, well, head back.
Mm-hmm.
Take the other option.
Okay. So you go left and continue there about 100 yards. It dog legs to the right. You go about 50 yards and you can go straight or you can cut sharply back to the right. And, you know, I'm doing this purposely because it would be very confusing.
Yep.
So
it either goes to the left, I'm sorry, straight?
Straight or sharp cut back to the right.
This time I'm going to go straight.
Okay. About 100 yards, it splits like a Y. You can go left or right. There is no straight now. Hello? Did I lose you guys?
Oh, I'm sorry. She takes the right.
Okay. You follow that about 100 yards, and it starts to wind to the right and then back to the left. And then it dead ends, and in this dead end, you see a skeleton of somebody. It looks like an Arab somebody. It's like a Bedouin kind of. The clothing is rotting, it's a skeleton, so it's been here a while. Let's see. I would like Sim to make a luck check to see if there's anything useful on this skeleton.
All right.
Nope. It's been here a long time.
Well, this is a dead end, I guess. So we go back and at the next option, take the other option.
Okay, to the right then.
Yep.
50 yards, and then it Ys again, left or right.
Okay, so I turned which direction into this tunnel? I turned
You
right
turn
into
to
this
the right
tunnel.
into this tunnel.
Another right.
Okay. So you go about 200 yards, and it makes an almost 90-degree turn to the left. You go about 100 yards, and you can keep going straight, or you can take a left.
Straight.
And you've been about an hour at this now, probably
Yeah,
probably more.
Have I ever run into any of my marks as I go?
No, you have not.
Okay.
Straight for about 25 yards, and then it makes a sharp right. No other option. you go about 250 yards that way, and then you can take a left or keep going straight.
Sheesh. And the tunnels look the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's really nothing particularly distinguishing about any of this. It's all starting to look the same to you.
Turn left.
Okay. You go. I need a constitution check from everyone.
Oh.
Every living person, that is.
Okay. Oh, Maxine.
Okay. Yeah, Maxine, you're starting to get really tired. You can stop and rest, or you can press on, but you're going to have penalty dice to physical activities if you keep going. It's just been too exhausting up to this point.
I think she's gonna. She's gonna keep going. She just, I think it's not very realistic she would stop to rest until she absolutely had to.
Okay. You go. That continues for about 250 yards with a kind of a little bit of a dog leg left, and then back right again, and another 100 yards or so. And then you can turn left or right at T's.
Oh my gosh.
He kind of chimes in. We should just go back the way we came.
She thinks about how far they've come now. I think she's more of a press ahead sort of a person. Look, we'll give it another little bit, and then if we still haven't made any progress, then we'll go back. She's gonna go right.
Okay. That goes about 75 yards, and then makes a 90-degree left turn for about 100 yards. Kind of dog legs 75, a little to the left and then to the right, and that goes about 100 yards. And then there is you can either go continue straight, or you can make a sharp turn back to the right.
Keep going straight or sharp turn back to the right.
Yes.
Good grief. Straight.
Okay, about 50 yards, and then it kind of dog legs left for a couple 100 yards. Make a listen check for me, but you have a penalty die because you're tired. So actually, how about Thaddeus? You make the listen check.
Listen, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yes.
okay. So you are, you guys are proceeding along this tunnel, and you hear up ahead, you hear a voice, a female voice, saying, "Please, please."
Do you hear that?
Huh? What?
You
Shh, listen.
You don't see any light up ahead, but you hear it. It doesn't sound like it's that far away. It's hard to tell distance down here, right? But you're sure it's, well, I guess you can't be 100% sure that it's not echoing from far away. Because sounds do have kind of a weird behavior down here. But it can't be too far away.
It's a voice. Do you hear it?
Does she hear it if she actively tries to hear it?
I'll let you take a listen check. No, you don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
It's faint. But because it's the person isn't saying it, very loudly.
Keep going forward. It's right up there.
Alright, she'll go forward. She would normally be quiet, but holding a big lantern, there's just probably no sneak factor anyway, so she's just probably going normally, walking normally toward it.
Yes. Okay. Wait. So yeah. So you're keeping the light lit, right? Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you proceed and you see what appears to be a passage that crosses across, at 90 degrees, cuts across your path. And there's no light, but you see dim movement kind of going from right to left at the tip of your light. And as it's doing that, whoever's moving stops suddenly. What do you do? It's like it looks like a small group of people or something, and they stop.
Thaddeus, as he makes his way up, he's gonna reach for his pistol since he's sharing a load with Evie.
Maxine reaches in and pulls out her pistol as well. Starts to back up a little bit.
There's nowhere for her to go, really.
Yeah, I know. Waits to see what enters the light.
Okay. Well, we will see. Let me set this up. It'll take me just a minute.
Oh man, I was hoping it was like the sounds of tourists from underneath the pyramid.
Yeah. Hey guys, what's going on, yo? Yeah.
Wow, we found this bedroom too. So spooky.
Oh look, check out our friend. She's bad.
That is so realistic.
Okay. I think this will work. Yep, that looks about right. With one exception, there is no... Hold on a second. That is not like that.
The hallway that's changed.
There. So yeah, you as you can sort of see at the very tip, and you hear like a well, let's see if I have. Like a roar like that.
Oh shit, Thaddeus. We gotta go. Back up, back up.
And you hear a female voice saying, "Is someone there? Please."
Thaddeus standing in here,
And it
You,
takes a step closer. And as it steps into the light, you can see it's a lion head and a human body. And it kind of roars at you as soon as it sees you.
we can't go back.
And so now we're gonna have to go into
Go
initiative.
ahead,
Okay. You have your gun out, so this thing is rushing at you, Maxine. You may fight back or you can dodge. It's rushing at you to bite you. It's just frenzied.
I'm looking I
It
think my
looks-
dodge
it
and my
looks
plan for this
happy.
thing.
Just remember, if you fight back, you have to win. Otherwise, they win ties on fight backs. You win ties on dodge.
I'm just gonna dodge then.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead. Oh shit. Oh, you got lucky on that one.
Yeah.
All right. So, it tries to snap at your head, and you just duck. I mean, you barely duck. You can smell and feel its hot breath on your face as it, and then it kind of roars again. Okay, and now what do you do? It's your turn.
Shooting 3 times would take me -1.
It would be a 1 penalty die. Yes, and you're now engaged in combat with it, so you get a penalty dice to shoot at it anyway. But you're at. I'm sorry. You're point blank but engaged, so it's straight up. So if you try 3 shots, it's 3 with 1 penalty.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. And this is your Luger, right?
Luger.
Which would be 8 rounds. And Thaddeus, you had 6, I remember, left in your magazine. So, it is going to fight back.
Miss on all of them.
Oh my. And its bite back was a hard success, so it bites you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, well, what? Yep, it's gonna be 4. So it swipes at you with its razor paw. Or sorry, no, I'm sorry. It doesn't have a razor paw. I'm thinking of something else. It grabs at your hand and bites, like you're trying to shoot, and it's grabbed your arm and like bites your arm, and your shots just go off.
So mechanics wise, we're basically comparing its normal category with the results of the -1 category.
Correct.
On mine.
Yep.
Okay.
So it beat you. So it hit you for 4.
Wow.
EB, who actually does not have the medium knife anymore. He dropped that because it was. He has the small knife. Yes, it was cursed. You remember?
I don't think he can even get through.
No, he can't really.
He's going to continue to back up.
Yeah, I think that makes
He's
sense.
Panic.
Yeah. Have EB make a sanity check for me. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he's not losing any more sanity, but yeah, he's shaking, like he is shaking in his boots. That roar terrified him because he heard, that was what was going on in the chamber. Thaddeus.
I'll clear a shot. Would he be able to get through Maxine?
It's going to be a penalty die shooting through Maxine. And a fumble will hit her.
But also, claws and death will kill me.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Well,
Tell you whispers.
now I'm trying to decide if I should shoot 3 times.
It's let's see. is this point blank? I think this is point blank. I have to check. Point blank is defined as within a certain number of feet equal to your dexterity or something like that. I always forget. Let me quickly check that because that could be very important. Point blank, if it's a fifth of your dexterity in feet. So let's see what that is.
My dex is 45.
Yeah, so it's 9 feet. I'll give it to you. Close enough.
All right, then we should shoot 3 times.
So it's 3 regular shots then. The thing is not diving for cover. That would give up its next attack if it did that. That's always an option when you're getting shot at. You can dive for cover, which gives a penalty die to, or sorry, I think it lets you. Yeah, it gives them a penalty die. If you're successful on a dodge roll, then they get a penalty dice to all their shots. But it's not going to do that because then it would have to give up that's like its next action if it wants to do that. So it's not. All right, okay. So 3 shots, all with 1 penalty die. Oh no, sorry, all straight, because it's at point blank. That's a miss. That's a hit. Oh, and that is a that's an impale. So you 2 of your bullets, one hits it in the chest, the other hits it square in the forehead, right between the eyes, and it goes flying backwards. There is no chance that thing is alive. You feel certain you have blown that away.
And if anybody was looking at Thaddeus, he opens his eyes. Did I get it?
Yeah. Maxine is looking at her side where she's been gouged, but looks down at the dead thing. Heck yeah, you did. Hey, is someone still out there?
You hear a sound. From up ahead.
Oh, shoot, there's still something over there.
Well, maybe tell it to step in the light.
Look, is it just monsters out there? Because if it is, we're gonna go.
Apparently, we have a lifetime.
You hear the female voice again say, "Help, please."
Well, I guess maybe we should keep going forward. It could be another.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of time to debate this, so what are you doing, Maxine? You've got like 2 seconds to decide.
I think it's a honeypot.
All right, so you do nothing.
Yeah.
Evie, I think he's still moving away slowly. Unsure. Yep. Thaddeus
is holding Natalia by himself now again, with the pistol in his hand. We need to keep moving forward. We can't go back. That'll take too long.
Heck, Maxine.
All right, another thing charges out of the darkness at you.
Yeah.
This time it's like a crocodile head. Or a big snake, something, you're not entirely sure.
Well, I'm gonna dodge it.
No, it doesn't get to attack you. It's moving at you. It's your turn.
3 shots.
Okay.
And you're at normal because it's
Yeah,
die
because you're right. It hasn't really had a chance to attack you yet, so it's just 3-point blank. Oh, jeez. Fail, fail. Oh, you got one. One of them hit. Yeah, so it's you're kind. I'd say your hand is a little shaky, probably, and yeah, you're unloading. It's a little dark as well, so you're unloading in the general direction. You think you caught it a little bit, but you're not entirely sure what the overall effect was. EB, it's gonna. I'd say yeah, he hears that sound again.
Just keeps inching away, doesn't want to get too far. And just freezes. His kind of blood goes cold.
Thaddeus.
Let's see. So how many rounds did I have?
You wouldn't know really. I don't think you would have been counting, but I know.
No. He's gonna do 3 more shots again, but at least until it clicks.
Yeah. Okay. 3 more shots. This will be again. Oh my gosh.
Come on, Thaddeus.
Well,
right.
one more. Okay, you hit it. You hit it. Oh, and it trips and falls. It's down.
Well, I'm shooting it.
All right, it's point blank. You get a bonus die. 3 shots or 1 shot? Or 2?
She's only got 2 shots left anyway.
So click, click.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an impale. Very nice. That's like an execution shot. And then another shot. So you put 2 rounds square into it. And then your third pull is a click. It's out.
Yeah, she clicks, looks down at it. Oh man, okay, it's pretty sure it's dead, and she quickly starts to reload.
EB?
EB.
He's just hearing gunshots, like crazy wild gunshots and flashes up ahead, and sounds of angry monster
He's
sounds.
gonna cover his ears and pray to Allah.
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus seeing it down, seeing Maxine load her gun is gonna make him want to load his, and he's gonna try to do it while holding the tally up.
Okay, make a dexterity check. Yeah, you're fumbling around with it. You haven't dropped the cartridge, but you can't quite get it, or the magazine rather, but you can't quite get it in. Maxine?
Max.
So you're reloading is what you're doing.
Yeah, Max is reloading, and she's gonna say again, "Look, whoever's out there, you better say something different this time, or we're out of here."
Please, my name's Lalati. Help me. The voice sounds a little muffled to you.
It's a real name. Maxine's gonna look at Thaddeus. Hurry up. She's gonna kind of creep forward, try to find.
Yeah, I think we know Evie's gonna be just cowering. All right, so she creeps up. So you can go ahead. You can move. A few spaces, or a couple if you're creeping along.
Yeah, she gets to the edge of the hallway and very carefully, pointing her gun in both directions, looks around the corner.
There's definitely a couple of dark shapes right around the corner there. And they're just kind of standing in the middle of this. I mean, you actually you can't even really see the other shape. You just see one dark shape. Then it's just standing there, kind of motionless. You can't really see it in the dim light because Thaddeus has the light.
No, actually, Max has the light. She has.
Oh, you have the light. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well then, let's fix that. So yeah, you see two figures, and they have their wrists bound with rope, and there are like canvas sacks over their heads. And the one close to you is facing your direction. It definitely has a feminine look to it. The other is is wearing like a white robe and has sort of a male appearance, but you can't see the face. And he's stooped over.
Max will turn back to Thaddeus. Hey, there's two actual people here, and it looks like they were some sort of prisoners. And looking kind of down the hallway each way again, she sets the lantern down and starts to work at taking the coverings off their heads first. And then, seeing if they look like actual humans underneath that.
Mm-hmm.
She'd probably, start to untie them, start to converse. How'd you all get down here? Do you know a way out?
I don't know. They just put me down here. I don't know what's going on.
Does this hallway look like the big hallway?
Yes, it does.
This is what we was looking for. She kind of points down the hallway to Thaddeus, but Max will pull out her switchblade and start cutting through whatever's binding them.
Thaddeus would finish trying to reload it as he comes out with Natalia.
You kind of see under the hood the girl, the woman. She's very small, kind of around maybe just a little bit over 5 feet. Very thin arms, thin limbs, very small face, kind of mousy looking almost. And she's got kind of dirt caked over her face. You can see there's just tear streaks that have formed through the dirt as she looks like she's been without any proper bedding or anything for quite a long time. Nails blackened, some of them missing, and she has bruises and contusions over her face. It looks to be her arms. And she looks to you. I'm not sure what you mean. I don't know exactly where we are.
We're in the tunnel underneath the pyramids. And she walks over to the guy in the ropes. I don't know if you speak English. Are you alright, mister?
He looks like he has been. You took the sack off his head too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's old. Make an intelligence check, Thaddeus. You recognize the old man despite the fact that he has clearly been tortured. He's missing his fingernails, all of them. His face is badly beaten and bruised. He's missing patches of his hair. His arms are burned in places. But it is most certainly Ahmed al-Dahabi, the imam of the of the mosque at Ibn Tulun, where the girdle of Nitocris was kept.
Ah, they, they should walk out. I know him. Where's EB?
You don't see EB.
Does he recognize Thaddeus at all?
He doesn't appear to be very conscious of much at all. He's kind of in a daze.
We have to help him. We have to help both of them.
Can't leave Evie here either. She kind of will whisper yell down the hallway for Evie. Evie, we need your help over here. There's no more of those things.
You don't hear anything.
She's gonna move down the hall a little bit, see if she can spot him. She can't really take all the light.
Yeah, she kind of sees him. Yeah, you sort of see him huddling, sitting against the wall, hugging his legs to his body, kind of hunched over and just muttering again.
Hey Thaddeus, does EB know this fella?
Yes, he would.
Oh, what's his name again?
Mir al-Dahabi. Tell him he's here.
EB, your friend Al-Dahabi, he's here. He's down the hall, but we need your help.
I will let you try a persuade or a psychology roll. Your choice.
Persuade. There we go.
Yeah, he's not budging.
It's fast talk. I put everything into fast talk. Look, EB, we gotta go. We don't want to leave you here in the dark, so come on.
He's not responding. He looks like he's just not. He looks. I mean, all you can see is a dark shape. So he's just, but he's not responding. He's not moving.
I think she'll take a minute, give him a minute. Then she'll kind of sit back against the wall, sit down, start to take a breather. I guess I'm gonna give him a minute, Mr. Pippin, because he's not moving.
What's going on out there in the main hall while she's trying to convince Evie to go?
Thaddeus is probably leaning against the wall up on top. He's keeps staring at her, telling her it's gonna be okay. We'll get you help. We'll get you out of here. And then when he hears Maxine say that about Evie, look, he's either got to come now or we got to go. We don't have time. We're wasting time.
Look, it just doesn't seem right to leave somebody down here in the dark. Look, maybe your friend Al-Dahabi, bring him up over here in the light so Evie can see him. Maybe that'll snap him out of it.
Thaddeus looks over at Al-Dahabi, looks at the telly. He's still holding up all dead weight. I can't put her down.
Look, just let her rest. She's not gonna get hurt if you just set her down gentle, alright?
Thaddeus looks back in the telly. No, I can't put her down. If I put her down, she may die.
Yeah, but if leave Evie down here, he's definitely gonna die.
And he looks back over at Natalia again and looks down the hall. He's either gotta come or he stays.
Oh yeah, like Frank?
Not like Frank. Frank wasn't a cow.
I understand that your friends there, but please, I don't know how long I've been down here, and I don't know how long I can stay.
Max is gonna say, hold on, I'm gonna go over to him. Maybe I can just get him to move if he's not responding.
Grab him.
She'll walk down to the hall and basically try to, if he's not responding to words, kind of tug him forward.
He just looks catatonic.
So he won't move at all?
He's sitting, and so you're gonna have to do something physical if you're gonna kind of drag him to his feet.
Physically, kind of take his arm, lift, see if he'll,
all right,
assist at all.
Strength versus size. Yeah. You're struggling to get him to stand up, and you're exhausted at this point too. I mean, you're just remember you've been going on adrenaline. You're just.
Yep.
Make a sanity check for me. Okay, you're keeping it together though. You're exhausted and definitely want out of here, I'm sure. But you're keeping your wits about you and are still quite rational, maybe even hyper rational, like super focused now, even though you're tired.
Yeah, she'll keep tugging on and keep talking to him.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you can kind of get him to his feet, but and once you do, he'll sort of follow along with you, but not very fast. Like you can see he's just sort of muttering to himself and kind of looking around, not even really paying any attention to you particularly.
Yeah, she will do the best. I mean, that's the best she can get.
Yeah.
She'll
okay.
move forward to the other.
All right. He's going about half the speed you'd like to go. It's kind of the bottom line.
I think we're gonna turn left down the hallway. In the scenario I'm imagining, these two were. Wait, is there something ahead? No, we want the straight ahead.
Yeah, there is a small passage that continues right across the way there. I'm sorry. Yeah, it because the light thing, it blocks it. But yeah, there is another passage, a small one, because I had to kind of set this up.
Yeah, so, I think I want to go the direction of Lottie. That direction.
The direction they were heading. Okay. All right. So you guys kind of go along, and it really, I mean, Ebi doesn't slow you down much more than Al-Dahabi does, because he's just in bad shape. In fact, you kind of maybe, I don't know, feel a little bad. Someone's going to have to help him along. Like they were sort of, Lottie, you kind of realize, they just kind of prodded you along, but the other person, they had to kind of drag him along at times because he's just so slow and so weak. So someone's going to kind of have to help him and keep pulling Ebi, and you've got Natalia's corpse. So how is that all going to work?
Well, Thaddeus is going to hold on to Natalia's corpse, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Max is doing her best to help Al-Dahabi and might have to every once in a while stop and pull Ebi forward.
Gosh, yes.
It's gonna be just excruciating.
Yes, it will be. What's Lottie doing?
Lottie is exhausted as well, and she's just trying to stay upright most of the time. She's been walking for an hour.
Yeah, she hasn't been walking that long now. Maybe she's only been walking maybe an hour or less.
We'll try to help with EB. Grab onto his arm and pull him along. And she's actually going to speak Arabic to him. Just it's okay, it's okay. Come along now. We're gonna make it out here.
I'll let you make a psychology check. With a bonus die because you speak Arabic.
Cool.
Nah. Okay. So what's the order of march here, as it were? Who's leading the way?
Lottie.
I'll let Lottie hold the lantern since Max is helping Al-Dahabi.
So yeah, you're heading this way.
Yes.
So EB's in front of you, Lottie, or how is this? Yeah. So
She'll kind of have the lantern in her left hand and have her right arm around his, and just kind of helping him along as well.
And Thaddeus is kind of hauling Natalia along, and Maxine is leading Al-Dahabi, or helping him along too. Okay, so that looks about right. Okay, so you guys proceed on. And now, so back to marching along. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. So I want to change that up a little bit. Lottie, you've only been walking about 10 minutes when they intercepted you. So you know that wherever you entered is only 10 minutes down the way you came.
Yeah, she kind of chimes in a bit. Not sure exactly. It's been about 10 minutes since I've been going through this cavern here.
Walking fast or slow?
Walking slow. And she kind of points in the direction that they came from. This is where we came from. Last thing I remember is being chained up, manacled up. So I'm not sure where they kept us.
Well, I guess we go back this way then. Hope they're not still there.
Okay. So you head that way instead, and it's a little windy, but it stays, same width and quality of. It's definitely a main passage, and it comes to a small chamber, sort of dead ends at a little chamber, and in this chamber, you can see there is like an old ladder that goes up the wall. And in this room, there are hooks hanging from the ceiling. And you see coils of rope, just sort of in disarray around the room. And there's lots of blood stains, tons and tons of blood stains from various points in time. Mostly like pooled under the hooks.
Did you come down a ladder?
I don't quite remember. I don't know, they used something to. Sure, some sort of concoction to have me pass out when they grabbed me.
Yeah, you remember being very painfully lowered down by a rope.
I remember being lowered. I didn't climb those stairs.
Are there torches anywhere in here?
There are.
Lantern?
They're not lit, but there are some on the walls.
Yeah, if Maxine's gonna try to grab one or two.
Mm-hmm.
Torches are big. Probably realistic. She'd just grab one.
Yep.
She kind of looks to the group of them. Not one that usually like a gift horse in the mouth. What exactly are you doing down here?
Well, that's a long story. Needless to say, we ain't with the people who brought you here. She looks up at the ladder. Thaddeus, are we... I mean, should we go try to find a different way out? Because there's a good chance that there's a fight right beyond that ladder.
Daddy's looking at the ladder. You know, we know that's the way out.
It's our way out. I mean, it's not the way we got in. All right. I'm gonna go check it out. Well, no. How long would they have to rest for her to feel refreshed at all?
Probably an hour or so. More than just a couple minutes of breather. You're not even sure that would do it. I mean, you're so tired from all the exertion. But, certainly any few minutes is going to help you, but as far as like losing the penalty die, yeah, we have to see. You're not really sure.
If they brought her down with there has to be something up there that we could raise them up with.
I just want to get out of here.
If you want to hold Natalia, I'll go look.
The dead woman.
She's not dead.
I've seen quite a few dead people in my life. Study him.
All right, Thaddeus. I'll take Nat, and you go check. You go. Just be real careful. All right. As he goes, she's gonna look over at Lottie and just say, "Look, I don't think he's ready to hear it yet."
He's gonna need to hear it at some time.
Okay.
That sounds very feminine.
I didn't know if it was going to be. Yeah, that's too feminine. Well, that's
Later.
it's Thaddeus. Right now he's really tired, so he's sounding very feminine. So yeah, he climbs up the ladder and gets to the top. It's the climb is about a good 30 feet. And the ladder seems sturdy enough. You get the feeling it is used. It's not, some old rotting thing that's never used. So it has this. You have the sense it's maintained, or maybe been replaced. You get to the top, and you're just kind of at the lip of a tunnel that, and I assume you have the light, right? So you can see. Is that, or you have a torch? So now you have more than one torch anyway. So you get up there. Yeah, you can see the tunnel kind of continues on. You don't see anybody up there.
Is there rope or anything up there?
Actually, yes. There's like a big iron spike that's been driven into the stone, and like a loosely coiled rope that's pretty long, probably 40 feet or so. Certainly long enough to drop down over the side.
Thaddeus would go up to the top and kind of look down. It's empty, but there is a rope. We can use it to haul up the hobby and Natalia if we need to.
Uh, yeah, I think Nat's definitely gonna need some assistance. All right, we can give this a try, I guess. I mean,
Um,
she'll be like, I'm not really like good with knots and stuff, so I don't really know what I'm doing down here.
It's not that hard to tie off a rope unless you're just making an excuse.
No, I mean, is she like trying to make a harness for
Yeah.
basically because the hobby can't really climb at all, right?
You don't know. I mean, he's not doing anything. He's just once you kind of let go of him, he just sort of sits down and stares into nothing.
Now up top, is there anything to put the rope around to use as a we give Thaddeus some type of advantage pulling?
Sure. I mean, that's the iron spike. You know, the rope's kind of attached to that. But you know, there's nothing to really leverage the rope off of, if that's what you mean. It's just going to be brute. It's just going to be brute force.
This is not going to go well. And does the rope touch the ground?
Oh, absolutely! It more than touches the ground. It touches the ground, and it's got at least like 15 feet of play in it still.
This is going to be ugly.
All right,
Oh
so
yeah,
I think
I'm picturing
Max
it already.
is gonna have Lottie climb up. You know, just get
Yep.
another person up there.
All right, they're sending Lottie up the ladder.
Yeah, Lottie. She'll climb the ladder and get to the top.
And EB says, "This is the way out. I'm going. He starts to follow after Lottie, like close behind her.
And then Max will start working on kind of tying the rope underneath the hobby's arms, you know, kind of. And she's going to lead him over to the ladder and try to get him to climb a little so that Thaddeus can kind of pull and this guy can climb at the same time.
So how are you trying to get him to climb?
To take him over to the ladder and to point up, and she'll say, "Look, the outside, it's up there. You gotta get up there if you want to see the light again."
All right, make a persuade.
I need fast talk.
You know what? I'll let you do it because you're saying you see the light again. That's sort of like you're enticing him with something. Yeah, I'll let you. Oh, look at that. Okay. He does kind of look at you, and for a moment you think there's this tiny, bit of recognition of something sane, and he kind of looks at the ladder and then looks back at you, and he kind of slowly starts to struggle up the ladder. But you can see, his body is just wrecked.
Yeah, she'll actually follow up behind him just to give him support.
Yep.
From behind as well as up front to get him up there.
Okay. So Lottie makes it up with EB hot on her heels. Like, she's not moving fast enough for EB. And he even says something impatient. You don't know what the... oh, no, she knows Arabic. So he's cursing you for not being fast enough.
Yeah, and she responds back in Arabic. Sorry. I'm a bit slow.
He says, I don't want to die down here. You're going to get us all killed. Move.
Go on. And she pulls herself to the top, moving out of the way so Evie can get past her. She comes over to Thaddeus and looks down at the rope. I'm not going to be much of a help with pulling this.
He says, we're climbing. That's good. If we're going higher, we must be almost out. EB says to Thaddeus, give me the torch.
And Thaddeus kind of seeing Evie, knowing that he likes to run off, is not going to hand him the torch.
He says,
You come over here and
come,
grab this
come
rope.
on. I will look and see. There must be a way out.
Grab this rope, Evie.
He grabs the rope, but you can see he looks very upset with you.
We get everybody up, and then we go look. And then Thaddeus looked down, and
you look down, and Evie kind of grabs you by the collar and pulls you close. Do you let him, or do you like push him off, or what? Like it's pretty sudden.
Yeah, he's as much as he'd want to like throw an elbow back or something, he unprepared for it. He's gonna get pulled. He's not sure what's going on, so he's gonna let it happen.
He just pulls you close, face to face, and he says, "I'm finished with you, Mr. Pepin. When we get out of here, this is the last you will see of me. I don't ever want to see you again. Do you understand?"
Well, thank God, you coward. Now pull this rope. It's your fault. Natalia's probably, yeah, she's hurt. And he's gonna kind of push him back a little.
He grabs the rope and starts pulling. Are you helping with the rope too?
Yeah, he's gonna grab hold and wrap it around his arm while he's holding the torch and start pulling backward, like leaning, like using his weight to pull.
All right, so I'll get a bonus die. Hello. Oh yeah, he's pulling that body. he's pulling Aldahabi up. Like Aldahabi cannot possibly go fast enough for EB. Like in Maxine, you can see Ahmed's body kind of dangling and being just pulled up, like faster than you can do anything about it. And you hear kind of this soft moan come from Al-Dahabi. Obviously, it's painful.
Once Al-Dahabi gets up, Thaddeus is going to undo the knot and throw the rope back. Okay, now time for Natalia.
Maxine looks at him hard.
The old man just kind of collapses.
Lottie goes over to check on him.
Max is gonna shake her head at Thaddeus and then go down the ladder, and she'll tie the rope, as secure around Nat as she can, knowing that it's just gonna be dead weight he pulls up, and after she does the best she can, she's gonna tell Thaddeus to start pulling.
Thaddeus will look at Evie. Another time, Evie.
I can just see that body with insides falling out. Yeah, as you haul this corpse. Give me a luck check, Thaddeus. Okay.
Hey!
You guys haul her up, more or less intact. Maxine, yeah, you kind of, you can see, you're kind of surprised there's any blood left in that body, but some is still dripping out, and along with, bits of intestine and so on. And then
Can we tell? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Any difference in these two directions? This is still stone floors, no footprints coming from one direction or another.
Oh, there's so many footprints here and disturbance of. It's impossible to tell anything here. This seems to be a very well-traveled chamber.
All right, Evie, you pick up the old man there. He needs help, and we'll go this way. And she'll just go the direction she's facing, I guess.
He says in Arabic to Al-Dahabi, "We'll get you back to your mosque. We will be done with these people. Allah will protect us." And he kind of helps him along. So you proceed down this passage. It gradually climbs upward. You can feel that. And it finally dead ends in a small chamber. There are torches on the walls, but they're not lit again. But on one wall there is a plaque.
Gonna try and read the plaque.
Yeah, assuming it's in Arabic.
It is actually hieroglyphics.
Oh. Is this an archaeology?
This is a hieroglyphics roll, if anybody.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
did
it's
you?
a separate skill.
That is a separate skill.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I will let you change something if you wanted to know hieroglyphics. That's like a language.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna change that one.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. The second language.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll do that. And I failed it.
Yes, you did. So you can figure out enough. I'm sorry. I take that back. You can push it. It will take some. So you basically spend some more time.
Might as well, right? We're stuck here.
Push it.
Yeah. While she's studying it all.
You're trying. Yeah. I mean, you guys are. She's. You're sure that this is the key to opening something, but you're not sure exactly what it's saying.
Just trying to read it, running her hands over it, just racking her brain on things that she's read.
And Evie is like, "Come on, we must get out of here."
Do you see a way out, EB?
Then we must go back. I can't go back.
Well,
He puts his head in his hands. He starts rocking back and forth. I can't go back.
Well, let's light these torches and maybe there is a tunnel.
Yeah. All right. We'll get as much light in here as we can. Maybe that'll make EB feel better.
Thaddeus, you're kind of looking at Lottie reading these hieroglyphics, and you recognize these symbols. You've read stuff in the books that you've pored over. This is not traditional Egyptian hieroglyphics, which is one of the reasons she's having so much trouble with it. This is like an ancient language, and you remember reading a passage similar to this.
And as that is lighting torches, good spy a lot. I know those.
You do?
Yeah, I've seen them in a book. And he kind of gets closer with. Yes, I do remember them.
Yeah? And?
It takes you a few seconds to read them, but you find it surprisingly easy to understand. it's strange how easy it is. It says it translates into mighty is the god whose breath brings death and whose form brings madness.
And then they should kind of relay that on. What does it mean? Mighty is the god.
Make a luck check for me. Okay.
Goodness.
God, so close. So close.
So
His
you're
breath brings death and is what?
so she's do you tell her again what it means, Thaddeus?
Yeah, and I have yet no idea what you said.
Oh, she just said, can you what did that say again?
He would repeat the phrase.
Make a luck check again.
I'm so bad at remembering what they're in.
We're just
It's-
all gonna start repeating it.
It says, mighty is the god whose breath brings death and whose form brings madness.
What kind of riddle is this?
It's a horrible.
So
We just breathe on it or something.
yeah, is it a clue like that, or is it a clue to what is gonna be beyond here? Which kind of sounds like something I don't want to meet.
Well, I think either way we need to finish lighting these torches.
Yeah. All right. Max will light the torches.
Okay, they light.
Can we move the flag?
No. It's like embedded in the stone. I mean, you with tools and time, you probably could pry it out, but it's not movable. It's certainly not meant to be movable.
Lottie's gonna start scouring the room for any sort of hooks or hinges or secret kind of buttons, whatnot. Start
Okay.
just kind of tapping the walls.
I'm gonna make a spot hidden for you secretly. All right, you're doing that. What's everyone else doing? Ahmed and Ibi are just kind of Ibi is with Ahmed, and you know he's like different now. Like he keeps kind of giving you all dirty looks from time to time, and he's just kind of quietly talking to Al Dahabi.
Thaddeus would be trying to render a little bit more aid to Natalia, trying to preserve her life, maybe like a first aid. Just tucking some stuff into a hole.
Yeah. Okay. You could embalm her. Yeah.
Oh, me.
Okay, that's what Thaddeus is doing. Lottie. Lottie, make an intelligence roll for me.
All right. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Good lord.
I think Max is gonna sit and rest for a minute and just look around for inconsistencies and any detail here that might be a clue as to if there is if they came from this direction, then there has to be a way out. So she's looking at it with that in mind.
She's searching. Just turns. How the hell did you two get down here?
Through the little pyramid. There was
My Cyrenus.
yeah, that one.
Why don't we just go the way you came then?
I don't know exactly how to get there. We could go the other direction here. I mean, if they went the other direction up here, they'd end up somewhere else, right?
What do you mean the other
Or,
direction?
like-
There is no other direction.
Okay, so this is the only way once you came up the ladder that you
Yes.
could go.
Yep. This is
Okay.
it.
Yeah, this has got to be the way out.
She shakes her head.
Um. You hear Evie saying,
If it will get us out, you must do it.
Must what?
he's talking to Ahmed.
Yeah, Lottie turns around, but she asks that in Arabic to him.
You hear him saying quietly, muttering. I mean, like some of his teeth are broken, and but he says, I won't say that. I won't say the evil words. I would rather die than utter those. And Evie just kind of starts shaking him, Lottie, and you're right there. You can see if he keeps shaking him, Ahmed's not
Hey.
going to last long.
Hey, stop it. What's going on? What's wrong with you, Mr. Musa?
He knows. He won't say it. He knows
Say
the
what?
words. The words. The words.
He points at the plaque.
Some
what?
special words. You mean
He
Like
starts
maybe-
shaking Ahmed, and he's saying,
Say them, or we will die down here.
Lottie.
what's the name of this
he is
dark
physically
god
shaking him very hard at this point.
Lottie's going to slap Evie as hard as she can, which is not hard at all. She kind of like just just trying to get him to stop. Enough.
Yeah,
He
Max-
he slaps back.
Ah!
Let's see.
Just gonna try and
Fortunately, he doesn't.
Ah!
He doesn't really. Yeah, I think it would come as
Just
a bit
step
of a
back.
surprise. Yeah, but you sort of duck quickly, and he stands up and he just starts screaming in Arabic, "I'm not going to die down here."
Oh, jeez, Thaddeus. What was the name of that dark god again? And how did you say it? It started with the N. Maybe it means we're supposed to like say it, because mighty is the god that breath brings death. Maybe breath's like saying something.
Nyarlathotep?
Nyarlathotep, she says loudly.
Okay. It echoes off the walls. And meanwhile, Eb is still shouting at Lottie.
Lottie.
He's saying, "Get us out of here. If he won't read it. You say it."
Fine.
Rick.
Fine. I'll try. She's gonna hold up her hands. She looks terrified.
He's like
goes-
right up on you, like breathing down your neck practically.
She's just wide-eyed, backing up with her hand, kind of up in a defensive kind of position. Fine. I'll read it. And she looks back over to the slate. She's gonna try to reiterate what Thaddeus said in Arabic, though.
Okay. Go ahead, make an Arabic roll.
Oh boy. Let's try. Hey.
You say it in Arabic. You think pretty well. Nothing happens. He says, "That's not Arabic. That's not Arabic," and he points at it. He says, "Read it." And you can see he's kind of at a tipping point of hysteria. Like, you're probably maybe you're not, but he's pretty frightening right now, the way he's. And what's everyone else doing with that?
Would Thaddeus know how to say it in whatever language it is if he knows how to read it? Probably
no.
Sure.
not. That's what some of the Talia's test them back into her. They come over. What did you? You know, kind of like, do you need it read in the language that it is?
Eb says she won't read it, and he tries to grab you, Lottie. What do you do?
She's gonna scream and gonna duck out of the way, just attempting to not be grabbed.
Okay, dodge.
Okay.
Yeah, he's trying to grab you, but you're too lithe and slim, right? So he he's a little frenzied, and he sort of bumps you, but doesn't quite get to get a good hold on you, and you kind of slip away from him.
What is she supposed to read, EB?
And he turns and he just starts yelling in your face, "She won't read it. She won't read it.
Read what?
Make her read it."
The plaque?
Of course, the plaque. And he kind of he tries to grab you.
Thaddeus is going to go ahead and let him grab.
He grabs you and kind of turns you and like shoves you right up against the plaque. That's slow. No actual damage, but he does kind of shove you hard against the plaque, like and then like grabs you by the head and just like holds your head to the plaque. And you can tell he's just completely lost it at this point.
Thaddeus is feeling his head pressed against the plaque because he's going to throw his elbow back.
Okay, go ahead. That's an unarmed. Oh, that is a hit. Yep, you elbow him right in the stomach, and it kind of sucks the wind out of him. So for a moment, he's kind of doubled over. He was not expecting that. What do you do?
When he doubles over, Thaddeus was kind of pushing him to knock him over.
All right, yeah, he staggers back.
And he'll look back at the plaque. And he'll read it again out loud. Behold the breath that brings death and the body that brings madness.
In the language or in English?
In the language.
Yeah,
if he knew how to.
Yeah, he does. He wouldn't have been able to translate it if he didn't know. At least an approximation. So you say that, and EB is like about to come back and take a swing at you, right as you're finishing it up, and the plaque and the wall around the plaque for about 5, maybe more like 3 yards wide and maybe 5 yards high, or 3 yards high, like this square, just sort of like the wall just sort of shimmers and disappears, and you can see outside, and it's nighttime, and you can see like sand.
Dad's gonna stand and look in the mate, and then look over to Talia and run over to grab her.
Lottie immediately sprints outside.
EB kind of stops in mid swing and sort of looks, and he just runs right through the opening. Thaddeus is grabbing Natalia. What's everyone else doing?
I think Max is taking a minute to process that the walls just disappeared.
Lottie's. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
But she'll reach back and kind of grab the hobby by the arm and get him, just try to help him up.
He's very listless. You kind of got to drag him along. And Lottie, I assume, is going out.
She sprinted outside.
Yeah. And you, as soon as you pass through, you can smell the air, the night air, and feel the coolness of the air, and hear the sounds of the night, the wind.
Lottie just bursts into tears, kind of falls to her knees as they get outside.
As Max comes forward slowly out of the tunnel with the hobby kind of leaning on her, she looks up at the sky and turns around behind her to look at the opening, looks all around, trying to orient herself. Where are the pyramids? Where's the hotel? Where are we?
Yeah, it's a little hard to say exactly where you are, but you certainly, you're kind of you're standing in front of this strange 3-yard by 3-yard view into that dark room. And beyond that, it's just like in the middle of nothing. In the middle, in midair, from the ground up, and behind that you can see the tops of the 3 pyramids beyond, and you're guessing you're half a mile or so from the pyramids.
Yeah, she'll again get a little distracted by the surreality of floating room in front of her, but then focus instead on the direction of the pyramids, and she'll sort of point. It's not that far. That's where we gotta go.
We're not going back.
Well, not inside, but there's the hotel there, and we can get a taxi. Take us back to Cairo.
Yeah, and the doctor for Natalie.
Yeah. I think at this point, she looks at Thaddeus and says, "Look, Mr. Pepin, you didn't leave her behind. She's here. She's not stuck in the darkness."
I know she's here. She's right next to me.
But you gotta look at her, Mr. Pepin. She's gone. We can let her rest peaceful now under the night sky, but she's gone, and she's been gone for a while, and I think you know it.
Thaddeus will look over at Natalia. Does he realize she's gone, or is he?
Make a sanity check. I'll give you a bonus die this time.
Fail.
Yeah. No. I think there's you can't accept it, I think, at this point. It's just too much you came all this way with her. She can't possibly be dead now after all of that.
She still lives. You don't know what you're talking about. Come on, let's go. And he kind of tries to carry Natalia as much as possible in a huff.
You guys are like around here
Yeah,
in this dry bed, this old dried up riverbed.
We'll have to take it slow. And I think they just make their way back to the hotel. And
as you turn and you start going, that little you look back, and 1 minute that square is there in the air, and then it's gone. You look back again, and it's disappeared completely. And instead, in its place, there's this like a stele, like a big stone monument that's maybe 3 yards high and 3 yards wide, and there are words written on it. Those glyphs.
The same glyphs as it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Faded and ancient.
Maxine shudders as she takes one last look at it, and then they head back. Maxine thinking desperately what they're going to tell people happened.
Okay. Yeah.
On the way, I think she talks a little bit to Lottie, but
Lottie looks to Maxine. I owe you my life. If you hadn't come along, I know I'd have met some awful end.
yeah, well, I think you got Mr. Thaddeus to thank more for that. He can't seem to leave people behind.
Speaking of which, he is hauling along Natalia's body.
he is actually talking to Natalia, you know, telling him is they're moving along. He'll look over at her. In a little bit, we'll get you the doctor. He'll get you up, and we could go see your daughter. Not to worry, everything's gonna be fine.
Hoping he's gonna snap out of it soon. Max says to Lottie, I'm not sure what we're gonna tell people up there. I don't know how you got involved in this, but you may be aware that here in Egypt, these folks that are behind this, they're pretty powerful. So, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get any help from the authorities, I guess is what I mean.
I don't know exactly how powerful these people are, but I was at the Clive expedition before.
The Clive expedition? Oh, jeez. You must have seen something that you shouldn't, but we need to pick your brain for sure. As soon as we get somewhere safe.
Just let me pick up my human again. It's been... How long since it's been since the talkers has been missing?
Oh, well, geez, that's been months, has it been?
It's been almost 2 months now.
Yeah, if I remember right, it's been a couple months.
Lottie looks down at the ground. That's how long I've been down there, I think.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're okay for now. I don't know for how long, but we'll do what we can to keep you that way, I guess.
Thank you.
All right, I think I'm gonna call that the end, as Evie is at least helping Ahmed along, sort of. He seems a little more sane at this point, but he's still very resentful and not really talking to any of you. He's just sort of going along in the flock with the old man. And I assume that you'll help Thaddeus with Natalia's body as best you can as you go along. And yeah, and then that's kind of where curtain falls, I'd say, and we'll pick it up
There's this cesspit over here. I discovered that might be a good place to. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, you have a little time to think about it.
Oh, I feel so bad for Thaddeus. So sad.